recently, Trump and Netanyahu had a call. And then Trump said on Truth Social, I have just achieved peace in the Middle East and specifically between Lebanon and Israel, and everything is hunky-dory. And Israel is not going to strike Beirut, and Hezbollah is not going to attack Israel. It was left very vague. Then a couple hours later, Netanyahu came out with a statement saying that Trump agrees with me that Hezbollah has to stop striking Israeli cities, otherwise we will strike Beirut. And depending on who you ask, this would be because, like for Trump, it's because Iran, like the regime, threatened to stop the negotiations if Israel strikes Beirut. That's the end of the negotiations, and they'll strike Israel as well, and they'll do a whole bunch of stuff. And apparently, Trump and Netanyahu had a couple of tense calls. One before this was announced, where they agreed on what would be announced, and one after, because so this is the new report, people on Trump's team were not, and including probably Trump himself, were not happy with Netanyahu's statement because it wasn't quite what they agreed to, or something along those lines. There was a miscommunication, and then they had to straighten things out. So here's the update, and there was a leak to Axios that said that Trump said, you're not in jail because of me, and a whole bunch of expletives, and everything that people who dislike Netanyahu would imagine that is actually said. It's way too on the nose to be true, is my take on it. But this has been out there. And obviously, a bunch of politicians in Israel jumped on the opportunity, saying Netanyahu sold out the Israel security for his own gain because Trump is trying to promote Netanyahu being pardoned in his corruption trial. So here's the update that I found that to me makes the most sense. So essentially, the idea is Trump is expecting Israel to be okay with the limitations imposed on it with regards to Lebanon, for the greater goal of getting a good deal with the regime at the end of the road that would meet his demands. And I think this is the important part, if Iran does not answer those demands, those hard demands is what the way it's described here, Trump wants it to be very, very clear that the regime was the one who failed the agreement and not the US or Israel. So he wants the political capital. Therefore, he's pressuring Israel to limit its operations in Lebanon. This comes from a party who was briefed about both conversations that Netanyahu and Trump had yesterday. Okay, so it was yesterday, because this is from today. In the first conversation, there were differences of opinion because Netanyahu clarified that Israel would not be able to be okay with the fact that its citizens and residents are being fired at from inside Lebanon. Trump did not like hearing this because in his eyes, Israeli activity in the Dahya, which is the main neighborhood that's the hub of Hezbollah in Beirut in Lebanon, could bring about the end of his talks with the regime in Iran. However, Hezbollah at the end of the day blinked first, so they had a call and they didn't quite meet eye to eye, but Hezbollah blinked first because it was afraid of strikes in the Dahya, even though they don't, so that's me saying, they don't actually have a lot there anymore. They moved everything out of the Dahya, but the psychological effect of Israel striking the Dahya would be devastating, and they're already being mocked for oh, look at the victory, a third of Lebanon from the south has been occupied. And so because they blinked first, The formula that Trump posted on Truth was achieved, by which uh, firing at Israeli settlements, in within Israel proper, would be answered by strikes on the Dahya. And after they've agreed on this, Netanyahu posted a message, an aggressive message, in which it said that I told Trump that if Hezbollah would not cease attacking our cities and citizens, Israel would strike terror targets in Beirut. And Netanyahu added that the IDF would continue acting in southern Lebanon as originally planned, and has not used the term ceasefire at all, even though Trump and the Lebanese president have used it to describe it. And the White House did not like this message by Netanyahu, and therefore they reconnected him with the president for the second call. And this source said that in the second conversation, Trump and Netanyahu straightened things out. Like they understood what the miscommunication was and so on, and they're now on the same page. And at no point did Trump attack Netanyahu or insult him, as reported by Barak Ravid in Axios. Now this is the yelling emphasis is my own. This source has stated that Netanyahu is well aware of Trump's moves and his plan, as agreed upon between the two, even before Roaring Lion, which is Epic Fury. So whatever is happening now, according to this, has been agreed upon before Roaring Lion by Trump and Netanyahu. Therefore, because this was agreed upon ahead of time, the White House did not understand why Netanyahu is stepping out of line from what he has agreed with the president and insisting to expand the activity in Lebanon. And I'll say that he's paying a huge political price for appearing to be Trump's bitch in internal politics. And his statements, even though they're in lockstep and there's like a greater picture, this is nevertheless applying pressure, and it might not necessarily come out that this was part of their plan. And so he's trying to maintain his aggressive posture and his Mr. Security persona, and that's probably why he did it. So an Israeli source has confirmed that there were gaps between them. There was daylight between them that has been closed in those talks, and Israel eventually got what it wanted by stopping the firing on the northern settlements, or at least that's what the ceasefire conditions say, which Israel is still confident that would be maintained. So that's one thing. And before you respond, or other people respond, there's one other statement that I found interesting. So Katz, the Minister of Security, said today that we will strike back. We will strike Beirut because of the violations of the ceasefire, but we're not going to do it today. We're going to do it eventually, but not today. We're going to do it, like I think he said, in a few days or something along those lines. I don't remember the exact quote. I can find it. But to me, I find that interesting because originally what has been laid out is that the plan for striking Iran is actually a joint plan to strike Hezbollah and Iran together. And what better way, and including the Dahya. So let's say, okay, we're not going to do it now. We'll wait, but we will respond in the Dahya eventually. And if the strikes might resume, that would be a good time to do that. So yeah, so that's the update.
So the only issue, based on what you're hearing, between President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu is the post that he made.
Yes.
Okay. And
the aggressive posture that was made by the post, but not anything material on the ground.
Not anything material on the ground. Okay.
Just they want to keep the appearance that which is the truth, that the people who are being unreasonable are the Islamic Republic, and not to give them any excuse to break the deal and blame it on any external
Okay,
source. And Netanyahu's post risked that.
okay, and Axios exaggerated how big the difference was.
Yes, and also lied that Trump said something about the trial, and I'm the reason you're out of jail, so you better do what I say, and everything that the biggest conspiracy theories in Israel claim about Netanyahu.
And I mean, uh, Netanyahu's motivation for posting something like that is to show that to the internal audience in Israel that he is he's holding the remote, like he's the man behind the wheel.
Yes, he
He's not
he's
being
controlling the
controlled.
situation.
Okay,
Exactly. Yeah,
he's not being controlled by the
because he
Americans.
was being hammered for this.
Yes. um but so President Trump's priority is to it was that how does the Islamic Republic view this, but Netanyahu was also focusing on internal politics within Israel, correct?
So yeah, almost. Netanyahu was very much focused on internal politics in Israel. I think that was his main focus with the post. It was also a post made in Hebrew that was then translated. Trump, I don't think he cares what the Islamic Republic thinks. I think he cares what the Islamic Republic can make appear
Yes.
plausible.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, that's actually more accurate way of saying it. And how are the Israelis taking all of this right now with regards to Netanyahu?
Badly.
And badly?
So, yeah, people still think that he's being a bitch because we haven't struck the Dakhia yet. Now, I think that this is part of a larger plan, so um, I'm not moved by it particularly. And since Katz said that we will strike the Dakhia, we're gonna do it at our own terms. You could, if you hate the current government or Likud or specific individuals, you would say that, oh, he's just trying to save face and hoping we all forget about it. I don't. I think that we will. I think he meant it, and it will happen at the time that the boom booms resume.
And you think that President Trump's plan was justified and is working against the Islamic Republic?
Yes.
Okay. That is a lot of
And I think
useful information, guy. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's a lot of detail. Thank you. But go on.
Thank you. Yeah, and I do want to emphasize the to me incredible statement for what we've been talking about over the last few months since the ceasefire started. The source stated that Netanyahu is well aware of Trump's moves and plans, and as was agreed upon between the two of them, even before Epic Fury or Lions Roar. It says Lions Roar, but Epic Fury is the American equivalent. And so whatever is happening now, according to this, was agreed upon ahead of time before February 28th by Trump and Netanyahu. This is part of the plan. And as I said earlier, the Mossad assessed that the regime falling would take more than just kinetic actions. So this would be theoretically, this could be okay. We had the kinetic plans to basically strip them of their capabilities. Then we have the non-kinetic plan, and this could be what's unfolding right now.
Wow. So basically, what we have been saying since, I don't know, forever regarding kinetic is not enough. We kind of need this up and downs and political maneuvering as well. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for confirming that. Okay.
but the fact that there's a source saying this, and they're saying that this was agreed upon, so it could have still been the case, but not agreed upon ahead of time between them. That, okay, we're going to do the kinetic action, and then we're going to do the stage where you're messing with them diplomatically in negotiations and trying to cause internal division. But apparently, this part was also agreed upon ahead of time, according to this source, which the reason I trust it is because this is the most reasonable version of the two conversations that I've heard so far.
Okay. So more alignment than people are claiming. Basically, it's a summary.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, let's see. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for all of that. So let's see what the other people have to say. And then we go
tomorrow. 11
Iron put it too. Iron, did you already say what your response was?
Yes, I wanted to. I already said that. So But we
Okay,
also
then
have we also have 3 super chats. So after this, we could get to that.
yes, I also put it too. Do you think that the fact that Axios is mentioning conspiracy theories that are more specific to within Israel, like specifically that Trump is keeping Netanyahu out of prison, or that Israel's actions are going to make people get mad at Israel, do you think that points to a possible Israeli source for the comments?
I think the Israeli source for the comments is Barak Ravid. Like that I don't know if he made it up or filled in some blanks, but yeah, it strikes me as exactly something that Barak Ravid would write of his own accord, and maybe he misheard or interpreted things in a way that would confirm his presuppositions, his pre-existing biases, and maybe it's more malicious than that. But I think that the main source for this statement is Barak Ravid himself.
All right, that's it. Let's go to the super chats.
Okay. We got 3 super chats. Thank you, guys. Ida with a super chat saying, "What is this? Where am I? And why there's only 2 out of 10 super chats?" The Rudolph. Well, we're now at 5, so thank you, Ida, for getting us there. Thank you. I appreciate your support, and I always like how you start the super chats. Where am I? What's happening? And then we have Attila. Attila giving an explanation to Ida, saying, "Ida, we are not wealth transferring; we are wealth generating at the moment." Wow, how dare you use my own spells against me, Attila. Amazing. What the Okay, I see what you did there. Okay. this is this is my reward for discussing economics with you guys. Okay, not doing that again. We're all commies now then. Share everything with me. All right, so let's go to the next super chat again from Ida, saying, as an Israeli, very confused. Okay. So guys, we have to work on this. Okay, we get into so much detail, we have to figure out a way to start with a simplified version of what we're about to say, then go into the details, and then come up with a simplified summary of what we just said. So I think that would be like a simple, nuanced, simple sandwich. Nuance in the middle, simple announcement of what we're going to say, go into the detailed, simple summary at the end. That would be a good.
I agree with that. By the way, what we didn't do now that we probably should have is plug my channel, because I'm going up with the channel.
Oh, yes. Let me actually put the link to your channel. Actually, can you
which will be discussing Israeli politics in English, helping people who want to become familiar with it. Wherever I have biases, I will point them out explicitly, but I will also try to remain unbiased and say all the this side thinks this side thinks that. I tried doing that now as well, and at least based on Samantha's response, I think I got pretty good. Yeah, so I at least exemplified her position well enough.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.